Welcome everyone to the Speaking Part 7 Expressing Opinions analysis. Before we begin, I want to let you know that I will be following the Speaking Part 7 Expressing Opinions Tips and Strategies guide. We can find this guide in our CELPIP library. In the speaking section, go to Part 7 and you can find that video in the library and you can watch that video. That video will give you a more detailed analysis of the guide and about how you can use it effectively to answer Speaking Part 7. And if you want more information about those tips and strategies, then please watch that video. For now, I will only be reviewing the pages of the guide. The guide tells you about understanding the question and how to prepare effectively. Okay. And some question notes. This is part 7, which is very important for CLB 7 to 9 or higher. Okay. And very important. We're going to be using a lot of modals to express our opinions and ideas. Okay. And what I will be trying to show the most is how we can structure our answer. Okay. Level 7s or higher, 7, 8, and definitely 9 or higher. We need to provide a very well-structured answer. And that's what we're going to try to build. And for that, I will be using this structure found in our guide. Now, let's get started with today's analysis. So everyone, let's look at this part 7 expressing opinions question, okay? Do you agree that the government should impose a ban? Well, should impose means should make or should force or make a rule. A ban on people's use of plastics. A ban, not allow, not let people use plastics. Explain your reasons. So everyone, for this question, we can say yes, we can say no, or we can say yes and no. I think it's better to say yes and no. But for level 5, 6, the most important is to speak about the question, okay? To speak as much as you can for a minute and a half. And it will be a little bit difficult sometimes for level 5, 6 to think about answers for this question. But let's try to practice. So we are going to make an answer for I agree and I disagree. Okay? And so that's what we are going to follow. So let's start with the introducing the question. From my point of view, for some reasons, I agree that the government should impose a ban on people's use of plastics, but for other reasons, I disagree. So let's remember the blue is the structure, okay? That's the structure. And so we got the topic is right here. The government should impose a ban on people's use of plastics. So should impose a ban on people's use of plastics. That's where it is. So then everyone, we want to introduce the question like that. We can use the same words here. That's okay. So again, let's remember, should impose a ban on people's use of plastic means should make a rule or law to ban. Okay? So now let's get to the first side. First and most importantly, I agree because plastic isn't good for nature. Right? I think you know nature. We can say the environment, we can say for Earth. Okay? Nature, that's what it is. And isn't, plastic isn't, it's not good. We can say is not, but when we speak, we should try to use isn't, not is not. So let's give an example. Let's try to give an example here. For example, it causes lots of garbage. That's true. Plastic causes lots of garbage, and it takes a long time to decompose. Garbage decomposes or breaks apart, okay, or disappears. It takes a long time to disappear, to break down, to go away, okay? So we gave an example, yes, and it, and here it means plastics. We can say, for example, plastics cause a lot of garbage or lots of garbage. And plastic takes a long time to think about. But we don't want to use plastic, 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 plastic. That's why we have these subject pronouns. It, he, she, okay? So now let's explain. So it's a good idea to ban plastics. There we go. You see? Okay. So we gave our idea, we gave an example, and then we connected back to the topic. It's a good idea to ban plastics. Ban plastics. We can say to ban plastics, people's use of plastics. We can say that. So I gave a reason to agree. Now I want to give a reason to disagree. On the other hand, I disagree because many other materials aren't good for the environment, such as oil. That's true. Oil is like a product that is not good for the environment, not good for the environment, not good for nature, not good for the earth, not good for our world. We can say any of those. Okay? Such as oil. For example, oil. That's what such as means. Okay? And let's give an example or let's explain. Oh, no, just going to give another idea here. Also, people don't use as much plastics as businesses. Okay, so that's true. We're saying that people, we don't use so much plastics similar to businesses. As much. Don't use as much plastics as much as. That's a comparison. Okay? And look here very closely. Don't use. Aren't good. Don't use. Okay? So we're saying here that there are many materials that are not good for the environment, and people don't use as much plastics as businesses. So what? So it isn't useful to ban plastics. Okay, so I disagree because it's not useful. That's what it's saying here. So it's not important, basically. So we gave some reasons to agree, we gave some reasons to disagree, and now we want to finish, okay? Overall, I strongly believe that banning plastics can be useful, so it is good. Notice here, banning plastics, that's the topic. Or to ban plastics, we can say to ban plastics, or we can say that the government should impose a ban on people's use of plastics because it can be useful. We can say that too. Okay? But at the same time, but also, but at the same time, or but also, I think it isn't it banning plastics. It isn't beneficial, useful, helpful. That's what beneficial means. Okay? So, everyone, here is a really good answer for, I would say, 6. If you can say that, 6 is very good. Everyone, when we answer this question, we should try to introduce the question. Then we should try to give some ideas why it's good, or idea why it's good. Then we should try to give some ideas why it's not good. Or we can give another idea why it's good. We can say firstly, secondly, and we should try to finish everything in 1 minute and a half. And we should try to be organized. That's what it is here, organized. Okay? We don't need to explain so much. Just go idea, example, connection. Okay? And we should try to not make so many grammar mistakes. Look at the grammar here, everyone. That's what it's in red, grammar. So, to practice, we should try to speak this answer in 1.5 minutes. Slowly, clearly, continuously, okay? And you should practice 1 time, 2 times. Let me do it for you here so you can see. I will do it in 1.5 minutes. And you can listen to my speech and how I say it, okay? And how I connect. This will help you with your intonation and clarity and pronunciation. Okay? From my point of view, for some reasons, I agree that the government should impose a ban on people's use of plastics, but for other reasons, I disagree. First and most importantly, I agree because plastic isn't good for nature. For example, it causes lots of garbage and it takes a long time to decompose. So, it's a good idea to ban plastics. On the other hand, I disagree because many other materials aren't good for the environment, such as oil. Also, people don't use as much plastics as businesses. So, it isn't useful to ban plastics. Overall, I strongly believe that banning plastics can be useful, but at the same time, I think it isn't beneficial. Okay, so we said it there in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Of course, everyone, you can add more information here if you need. You can give more examples, but don't try to over explain. It's very important to finish in 1.5 minutes. We don't want to give just one simple idea. Many level 4, 5s, they do that. I think banning plastic is good because it causes garbage, because we need to protect nature. Also, it's good for people not to use plastic. Also, it's good for nature. Only one idea. No, we need to give an idea, we need to explain, we need to connect. Okay? And we only really gave 3 ideas here. So, everyone, the more that you read this answer, the better that you will get at it, and the more practice that you will get, and the easier it will be for you to answer the question. So let's remember, practice makes perfect. I would like to remind you that if you're looking for some more listening, reading, writing, or speaking CELPIP exam practice, then you should definitely subscribe to our CELPIP library. The CELPIP library has hundreds of examples of listening, reading, writing, and speaking, which will help you develop your score, whatever the score you need. Also, the library contains vocabulary, listening skills, reading skills, grammar, and writing skills exercises, which will really help you improve your general understanding of English and also for the exam. So, and you can purchase a 1 month pass or a 2 month or a 3 month subscription for a very low price. And of course, if you really enjoyed this content, then please like this video, share it, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way we will keep on producing more CELPIP analysis for your development. Have a great day.